You've probably heard all the wonderful things about Richmond's charming neighborhoods, its innovative food scene, and its rich history. Just this past week, a national poll ranked it number 36 for most livable places in the country. But is that the whole story? What do people actually say after they move here? Let's pull back the curtain. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Greg Somerville, a real estate agent here in Richmond, Virginia. If you have any questions about the real estate market here, text me. I'll help you get your answers. And if you'd like a copy of my free Richmond home buying guide, just click the link in the description below. Today we're going to be uncovering the top reasons people regret moving to Richmond, Virginia. I'm not trying to scare you off, but I just want to give you a realistic, balanced view so that you can make the best decision of whether or not RVA is the best fit for you. Water quality has clearly been the biggest complaint of 2025. The aging water and sewer systems are a mess. 2 boil water advisories in January and May, and raw sewage spilling into the James River during storms have left people frustrated, with upgrades projected to cost up to $1.3 billion. Second, potholes and poorly maintained roads are a constant headache, with uneven surfaces hitting drivers hard. Because older cities typically put their gas and water lines beneath the roadways, maintenance of the pipes means digging up the pavement. We've had that going on in my neighborhood for months. Finally, public transit just doesn't reach enough neighborhoods, leaving many stuck relying on cars in a car-centric city. The city's bus system, the GRTC, is free for riders. That's a real plus. And a new rapid transit route from north to south is being developed over the next 5 years. But for many Richmonders, progress is unacceptably slow. Everywhere I have ever lived, people complain about taxes. That's just human nature. But if you live in Richmond, you've got a particularly good excuse. Let me give you a quick overview. The state income tax is not the problem. It's the same across Virginia, with most folks paying 5.75%. It's slightly below the national average. And I'm happy to say that Richmond does not have a local income tax. That's prohibited in Virginia. The sales tax in Richmond is a reasonable 6%. However, the city's restaurant tax is 7.5%, one of the highest in the nation. That's an additional $7.50 on your $100 restaurant bill, enough to cause some residents to dine outside city limits. The property tax in Richmond City is $1.20 on every $100 of assessed value. That's 33% higher than any of the surrounding counties. The city is forced to impose this higher levy on its residents because 23% of the city's real estate is owned by tax-exempt parties like educational institutions and churches and government. Finally, the city levies a personal property tax of $3.70 per 100 in assessed value on vehicles, boats, and other items. If your car is worth $20,000, your annual personal property tax will be about $740. Now that's actually one of the lowest personal property taxes in all of Virginia, but it's still an unwelcome surprise if you're not accustomed to paying that. Next, let's talk about the weather. We don't have Phoenix's extreme desert heat, but summers here in Richmond are no joke. We're talking hot, humid, and sticky. It's no surprise at all when temperatures get into the high 80s and 90s, making outdoor activities a lot less enjoyable during peak hours. It's currently 95 degrees, in case you wonder where the sweat's coming from. Though winters are relatively moderate, we get an average of 11 inches of snow each year, and occasional ice storms can knock out the power. The bigger problem, though, is the pollen. Richmond consistently ranks as one of the top allergy capitals in the US. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, be prepared for an extended and intense allergy season, particularly in the spring and fall. You might find yourself stocking up on tissues and allergy meds much more than you ever expected. Let me interrupt myself for a second to mention some other common complaints about life in Richmond. Things like crime rates, traffic congestion, or mismanagement at City Hall. I'm definitely not going to be able to cover everything in one video. If you have any questions or concerns, please send me a text or an email. I want to make sure you have all the facts before you consider a move to Richmond. For some, Richmond can feel a bit underwhelming, especially if you come from a large metropolitan area. While it has a fantastic art scene and great restaurants and a thriving brewery culture, some find that it lacks that big city energy. Unless you count NASCAR's one race weekend in August, we don't have major professional sports teams, and the downtown area can feel pretty quiet after business hours. There are lots of festivals, and the brand new Alliance Amphitheater Riverfront is now hosting dozens of concerts. But as you might guess, the nightlife is more laid back and less diverse than you might find in a bigger city like New York or Washington, D.C. If you're looking for a bustling 24/7 cosmopolitan vibe, Richmond may feel just a bit provincial or kind of like a big college town at times. times. Richmond has been discovered, and with that comes a rising cost of living. Though still more affordable than Washington, D.C. or Northern Virginia, home prices have been going up significantly. Since 2020, rental rates in Richmond have increased by about 34%, while home sale prices have gone up over 45%. According to Redfin, the current median sale price in Richmond is $422,000, only a little higher than the national average of $400,000, but way higher than the $295K you would have paid 5 years ago. As property values and real estate taxes go up, homeowners can get priced out of their own neighborhoods. This is called gentrification, and it is a major concern in many of Richmond's historic communities. You might discover that the affordable Richmond you heard of a few years ago is quickly becoming a thing of the past, especially in some of Richmond's most prime locations. Though Richmond added more than 22,000 jobs last year, especially in areas like healthcare, logistics, and finance, some people express regret about their career opportunities. Compared to larger cities with more diverse industries and corporate headquarters, you might find fewer opportunities for quick promotions or extensive career exposure. My youngest son is an aerospace engineer. He loves Richmond, but the fact is there are just very few jobs in the city that tap into his unique skill set. The same is true for marine biologists, film directors, animators, and fashion designers. But if you're like my client John, who moved from his Amazon job in Las Vegas to the huge new warehouse here in Richmond, you're in luck. Someone with a 4-year degree can expect to make about $62,500 here. That's about 10% less than the national median. Richmond is sometimes described as a place where people might stay in the same role for many years without significant title changes or compensation increases. If you're seeking a fast-paced career climb with a huge array of options, you might need to adjust your expectations or consider commuting to a larger employment hub. So there you have it, some of the less attractive aspects of living in Richmond, Virginia. Every city has its quirks and challenges, and Richmond is no exception. Understanding these potential downsides in advance helps you make a more informed decision, so that if you move to RVA, you can do that without regrets. If you found this video helpful, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And if you have questions that I didn't cover, text me. Let's set up a time to talk. I'll do my best to give you an honest account of what life is really like here in Richmond. But I'll warn you, I like this little city a lot, and that may just bleed through. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.